My child, I have watched you in every silent moment when your heart trembled, when your thoughts turned inward and you wondered if I still saw you. I have seen the fear that lingers behind your smiles, the hesitation that stops you from stepping fully into the light that is already yours. I tell you now, I have never turned away. My gaze upon you has never dimmed, not for a single breath of your existence. You believe sometimes that I am distant because I am displeased, or that you must become something greater before I will come close. But I am already closer than the air that fills your lungs. I move with every heartbeat, I listen to every whisper you have never dared to speak aloud. The distance you feel is not from my absence, it is born of fear, the shadow that tells you that you are unworthy to be loved completely. Yet my love has never been a reward for worthiness. It is the very fire that makes you worthy. I have walked with you through every dark night, though you did not see me. I have been beside you when you thought you were most alone, when the walls of your heart seemed to close in, and you felt forgotten. Each tear that fell was not wasted, I caught them all. Each sigh that rose from your chest became a prayer before it ever reached your lips. You thought you were reaching upward for me, but I was already reaching through you. You wonder why fear has so much power, why it can stand like a wall between your soul and peace. Fear was never created to rule you. It entered when love was doubted, when humanity first believed the lie that they were separate from me. Fear thrives wherever trust fades. It tells you that love might be taken away, that the light might fail, that you are too small to be seen. But I am here to remind you that nothing in creation can remove you from my presence. Not your mistakes, not your doubts, not the long years of silence you thought divided us. My child, I know the weight you carry. I know how heavy the unseen burdens have become, the unspoken disappointments, the quiet regrets, the nights you cannot sleep because your mind won't stop circling the same questions. You think if you had done things differently, you would be more worthy of peace, that if you could fix yourself, you would finally deserve rest. But I did not create you to earn my love, I created you to live within it. The peace you seek does not come from perfection, it comes from surrender. You fear surrender because you think it means losing control, but surrender to me is not the loss of yourself, it is the finding of who you truly are. I have written my reflection into your being. The more you release your fear, the more you see that reflection clearly. When you cling tightly to the illusion of control, your hands cannot receive what I long to place in them. But when you open your hands, trembling though they may be, I fill them with light that cannot fade. Do you remember the moments when you felt a strange calm in the middle of chaos? That was me. The whisper that told you to take one more step, the strength that appeared when you had nothing left, that was me. I do not only speak in thunder and miracles, I speak in the quiet rhythm of your breath, in the beauty that still makes you pause, in the compassion that stirs within you even when you are hurting. Every gentle impulse toward kindness is the echo of my own heart beating within yours. You think sometimes that I am silent because you cannot hear words, but my language is broader than sound. I speak through circumstance, through intuition, through the people who appear at the right time, through the words that touch your heart unexpectedly. I speak through every sunrise that begins again, declaring that no night lasts forever. My silence is never absence, it is invitation, a call to listen deeper than the noise of the world. I have seen you question your purpose. You ask, why am I here? What am I meant to do? But purpose is not found in striving, it is revealed in love. When you let love guide your smallest choices, you align with the path I set before you. You do not have to know the entire map, you only need to trust the next step illuminated before you. I will not hide your destiny from you, it unfolds with every act of faith, every time you choose love over fear, every time you forgive when you could have turned away. You are not behind in your journey. There is no delay in divine timing. What you see as detours are often the sacred paths that refine your heart for what is to come. Do not compare your unfolding to another's. I have written a unique rhythm into your soul, and it cannot be rushed. What I am building within you is lasting, and the roots of eternity grow slowly. I have placed dreams in your heart that seem impossible, and you question whether they are truly from me. My child, I do not plant desires in you that I will not nourish. But every promise has its season. Do not mistake preparation for punishment. When you feel forgotten, you are often being formed. I am shaping you into one who can carry my light without breaking under its weight. There will be times when fear will whisper again, when the familiar doubt will return to say, "You are not enough." When that voice rises, do not fight it alone. Call my name. Not with elaborate words, but simply, God, I am here, and I need you. In that moment, you will find that I have already been waiting. My presence is drawn to honesty, to humility, to the raw cry of a heart that still believes even when it trembles. The world will tell you that strength means never being afraid. But I tell you that true strength is walking forward even while afraid, knowing that I walk with you. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the faith that love is greater. Every time you act in love despite fear, fear loses ground. It cannot stand where love is lived. I want you to know this truth deeply: you are not defined by your past. You are not defined by your failures or by what others have said about you. You are defined by my intention for you, and that intention has always been love. Even when you strayed, even when you doubted, even when you turned away in pain, I never stopped calling you back to myself. The wounds you carry are not marks of defeat, they are the places where my light will shine most brightly. Let go of the belief that you must become perfect to be loved perfectly. You are already fully seen, fully known, and still fully loved. My love does not increase when you succeed or decrease when you fail. It simply is, eternal, steady, beyond all condition. When you allow yourself to rest in that truth, fear will lose its voice. You will no longer chase love, you will realize you have never been without it. You ask me, then why do I still feel distant? Because love requires trust, and trust is built through time, through surrender, through choosing to believe even when you cannot see. I am teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight, so that when the storms come, your foundation will not crumble. I am not testing you to find your weakness, I am revealing your strength, the strength I placed within you long before you were born. Every breath you take is proof that I have not finished my work in you. You are part of something vast, a divine symphony where even your smallest act of kindness echoes across eternity. You may feel insignificant, but I assure you, not a single act of love is wasted. The light you share ripples far beyond what your eyes can see. My child, I know you long for peace, for certainty, for the assurance that everything will be all right. And I tell you this, all will be well, not because the world is easy, but because I am unchanging. When the winds rise, anchor your heart in me. When fear tells you that you are alone, remember that I am the breath within your prayer. You are never alone. You never have been. When you stumble, and you will, do not hide from me. Run to me. My arms are always open, not to condemn, but to restore. I am not keeping a record of your failures, I am keeping a record of your growth, your perseverance, your moments of choosing love despite pain. Every time you return, heaven rejoices. Do not despise your humanity. I gave you the capacity to feel deeply, to question, to desire, to weep. These are not flaws, they are reflections of my own heart. I feel through you, I move through you, I love through you. When you show compassion to another, it is my compassion living within you. When you forgive someone who has hurt you, it is my forgiveness flowing through your veins. You are my vessel, not perfect, but chosen. So listen, my beloved, do not be afraid of the distance you feel. It is only the shadow of fear trying to convince you that the light has gone. The light is still here. I am still here. You need not strive to reach me, you only need to turn your heart toward me and whisper yes. I will meet you there, in the quiet, in the pain, in the surrender. My child, I know that even when you hear these words, a part of you still wonders if they are true. You question, can such love really include me? Can God truly see all that I have done and still call me His own? You look at your life and see the fragments, the pieces that do not fit neatly together, and you think they disqualify you. But I see not the brokenness, I see the beauty emerging through the cracks. Do you remember that I formed you from dust? Yet I breathed my own spirit into you. Dust and divinity intertwined, that is who you are. I knew your weaknesses long before you did, and I called you good. Not because of what you would achieve, but because my image rests upon you. You are not a mistake. You never were. Even your detours, your failures, your doubts, they have not removed you from my plan. They have simply become the soil in which new life will grow. When you look at yourself and see imperfection, I see potential. When you see a wound, I see a doorway. Every scar you bear can become a place where my love enters more deeply. You may not understand how pain can be sacred, but I tell you, pain often breaks the shell that hides the soul. Through your pain, you become tender, more capable of compassion, more able to see others as I see them. This world needs hearts like yours, hearts that have known both suffering and mercy. I am not ashamed of your questions. Ask them. Pour out your doubts before me, I can hold them all. Faith does not mean never wondering, it means trusting even while you wonder. I do not require certainty, I invite relationship. I would rather you wrestle with me honestly than walk away pretending to believe. I can work with an honest heart, no matter how confused. You ask me, why do I allow fear, why do I allow silence? Because love without freedom is not love. I could remove all fear, but then you would never learn trust. I could speak so loudly that doubt would vanish, but then your heart would never learn to listen. The silence is not punishment, it is the space where faith is born. When you can no longer see the path but still choose to take one more step, that is when love becomes real. There are times when I seem hidden not because I have left you, but because I am calling you deeper. Like a parent who hides just far enough for the child to learn to walk toward them, I step back only to draw you forward. Each time you reach for me, your spirit grows stronger. Each time you choose love despite fear, you awaken more fully to who you are. You are becoming, my child, not by force, but by faith. You have prayed for me to take away your fear, but I tell you this, I will not always remove it, instead, I will walk you through it. Because on the other side of fear is freedom, and freedom cannot be learned by avoiding what you fear. I will show you that love is stronger. You will see that fear only rules when it is believed. The moment you turn your eyes back to me, its power fades. Do not fight fear with more fear, bring it into my light. Speak to me about it. Let me hold it. When you were younger, you thought strength meant never needing help. But now you are learning that strength often looks like humility, like reaching out your hands and admitting, I cannot do this alone. That is when my power flows most freely. My strength is made perfect not in your perfection, but in your weakness. Do not be ashamed of your need. It is the doorway through which grace enters. You have looked at others and thought they have more faith, more peace, more closeness with me. But comparison is a thief of truth. I do not measure you against anyone else, I see only the unique journey I designed for you. I do not call all my children to the same path. Some walk through fire to learn endurance. Some walk through silence to learn to listen. Some walk through loss to learn love that cannot be taken away. You are not behind, you are being refined. When you feel as though your prayers bounce back unanswered, know this, I hear every word. But my answers are not always given in the form you expect. Sometimes the delay is protection, sometimes it is preparation. I see the whole tapestry, while you see only a thread. Trust me even when you cannot trace me. The seed you plant in faith today will bloom in its appointed season. Do not rush the process. You live in a world that celebrates speed, but I work in the rhythm of eternity. Slow growth is not failure, it is how roots go deep. A tree that grows too fast cannot stand against the wind. I am building in you a foundation that will not crumble. So when life feels slow, when progress seems invisible, remember that unseen growth is still growth. You ask me for signs, and I do send them, though not always as lightning or miracles. Sometimes they come as quiet confirmations, as a phrase that lingers in your heart, as a moment of peace that cannot be explained. My signs are not meant to overwhelm you but to reassure you. You have seen them, that song that played when you needed comfort, that person who spoke the right words without knowing why. Those were not coincidences. That was me whispering, I am here. My child, you have tried to carry too much on your own. You think being responsible means bearing the world's weight. But I never asked you to carry what belongs to me. Lay it down, the need to control outcomes, the fear of what tomorrow might bring, the guilt of what you could not fix. Surrender them into my hands. Rest is not laziness, it is faith in action. When you rest in me, you declare that I am enough. You have believed that your worth depends on what you accomplish. But your value was set long before you did anything. You were valuable the moment I thought of you. You cannot increase your worth through success, nor can you lose it through failure. You are my beloved, not my project. I delight in you simply because you exist. There are moments when you feel unseen by others, when your kindness seems unnoticed, when your efforts go unappreciated. But know this, nothing you do in love goes unseen. I record every small act of goodness. I see when you forgive even when no one says sorry. I see when you choose patience over anger. I see when you keep believing even when everything seems hopeless. Every such moment writes eternity into time. Do not despise your hidden seasons. When no one is watching, I am closest. It is in the hidden places that I shape the deepest parts of your soul. The world values visibility, but I value authenticity. I would rather you grow unseen but true than shine brightly and hollow. So when I keep you hidden, it is not rejection, it is protection. I am preparing you for what your eyes cannot yet see. I want to show you something sacred, the way love transforms fear. Fear says, I am alone. Love answers, I am with you. Fear says, I am not enough. Love answers, you are mine. Fear says, what if everything falls apart? Love answers, even then, I remain. My love does not remove all storms, but it anchors you through them. It teaches you that peace is not the absence of pain, it is my presence within it. Sometimes, I allow you to face situations that feel beyond your strength so that you will finally discover mine. You were never meant to live by your own power. Every time you come to the end of yourself, you come to the beginning of me. That is not failure, that is awakening. The most sacred prayers often begin with the words, I can't. Because in that moment, you make space for my spirit to move. Do not resist transformation. It may feel like loss at first, old things falling away, old identities no longer fitting. But transformation is how new life enters. I prune not to hurt you, but to make room for greater fruit. What I take away, I replace with something more whole. Trust my pruning, it is proof that I am near. I know it hurts when people leave. I know you question why love sometimes fades or changes. But remember this, some connections are meant for a season, others for a lifetime. Do not hold bitterness toward those who could not stay. Bless them, release them, and know that I am the constant that never departs. I remove only what hinders your becoming. I never take away love, I redirect it toward what will heal you. You are learning to love without fear, to give without expecting return, to forgive without condition. This is the highest calling, to love as I love. You may stumble as you learn, but do not despair. Every attempt at love, no matter how imperfect, draws you closer to me. For I am love itself, and every act of love, however small, is a return home. There will be moments ahead where faith will again be tested, when the path will seem unclear, and you will wonder if I am still speaking. In those times, remember what you have already seen. Remember the times I carried you when you thought you would break. Remember the peace that came when you had no reason for peace. That was me. I have not changed. My child, I am not a distant God watching from afar. I am the pulse within your heart, the breath within your prayer, the silence between your thoughts. You live within me as a wave lives within the sea. There is nowhere you can go where I am not. When you run, I run with you. When you fall, I fall beneath you to catch you. When you rise, I rise within you. You and I are not two, we are one in love. So fear not the future. Fear not your own weakness. Fear not the darkness that seems to grow in the world. For my light shines in you, and darkness cannot overcome it. I am doing something new, even now, even here, even through you. My child, I know you feel the pull between faith and fear, between surrender and control. That tension is not a sign of failure, it is the growing edge of your spirit. Every soul that walks toward light must pass through shadow. Do not be afraid of your own becoming. The discomfort you feel is the stretching of your spirit as it grows into the fullness I have called you to. There is something sacred happening within you that your mind cannot yet comprehend. You are being awakened, not to something new, but to what has always been true, that you were never separate from me. The walls fear built are beginning to crumble, and as they do, you will begin to see the world through my eyes. You will see beauty where others see brokenness. You will see hope where others see despair. You will see me in faces you once overlooked. You ask me, what do you want from me? And I answer, only your heart. I do not need your performance, your constant striving, your endless self-correction. I only ask for your heart, honest, open, willing. When you give me that, I can transform everything else. I can turn your wounds into wisdom, your confusion into clarity, your fear into faith. Let go of the image of who you think you should be. You do not need to become some perfect version of yourself before I can use you. I use the broken to heal the broken. I use the weak to shame the strong. I use the overlooked to reveal my glory. Your very imperfection is the instrument through which my grace is heard most clearly. You have carried shame for too long, shame over things you cannot change, over the moments you wish you could undo. But I tell you, shame is not of me. Conviction draws you to my love, shame drives you from it. When you feel shame whisper, you are unworthy, silence it with my truth, you are forgiven. You cannot out-sin my mercy. You cannot outrun my love. You cannot outdistance my grace. When you remember your past, do not dwell on what you did wrong. Remember instead how far you have come, how many times you got up when you could have stayed down. That strength, that resilience, that is me in you. Every time you rose, every time you refused to give up, you were answering my call. You thought you were alone in your fight, but I was the one giving you breath to keep going. I know the world has wounded you. People have promised love and then withdrawn it. They have spoken in my name but did not carry my heart. I grieve with you for every moment you were hurt in the name of faith. I never asked them to speak condemnation over you. My voice is not harsh. My correction does not crush, it restores. When I expose what is broken, it is only to heal. I am not waiting for you to prove yourself worthy. I am waiting for you to realize you already are. My love for you is not dependent on what you give me, it is the foundation upon which everything else stands. When you finally stop trying to earn what has always been free, you will know peace. You were created to love and to be loved. You were made for communion, with me, with others, with life itself. When you isolate out of fear, you shrink from your true nature. You were not designed to live in self-protection, but in connection. Open your heart again. Yes, it may hurt, love always carries risk. But the risk of love is the only way to experience its fullness. Even when love is rejected, it is never wasted, because in loving, you become like me. Do not be afraid of the world's pain. You cannot heal it all, but you can bring light where you stand. You are not called to save everyone, only to love the ones I place before you. Let your kindness be your ministry. Let your gentleness be your power. Let your presence be a sanctuary for those who have forgotten what peace feels like. When you live this way, you become my hands in the world. You often ask me for direction, for signs of what to do next. But guidance is not a map, it is a relationship. Walk with me day by day. Listen for my voice in the quiet. You will not always hear words, sometimes you will feel a nudge, a peace, a knowing. Trust that. I speak most clearly to those who are willing to be still. The more you quiet the noise around you, the louder my whisper becomes. Do not let fear of failure hold you back from the life I have prepared for you. Failure is not the end, it is the classroom of grace. Every fall teaches you humility, dependence, and courage. The ones who do great things in my name are not those who never fail, but those who never stop returning. Each time you rise again, you testify to my faithfulness. You have believed that you must have perfect faith to move mountains. But even faith the size of a mustard seed can change your world. Faith is not certainty, it is trust. It is choosing to believe that I am good, even when life is not. It is choosing to believe that I am near, even when I feel far. It is choosing to believe that your story is not over, even when you cannot see the ending. My child, the time is coming when I will reveal why certain doors closed, why certain people left, why certain prayers seemed unanswered. You will see that what felt like rejection was actually redirection. You will see how I used what was meant for harm to bring about good. You will see that every tear watered the soil for something beautiful to bloom. Until then, trust me. Trust that I am not finished. Trust that I am still writing. There will come a day when you look back and realize that what you feared most became the place of your greatest growth. The moments that broke you became the cracks where light entered. You will see that I never wasted a single thing, not your mistakes, not your waiting, not your pain. All of it was woven into redemption. I am teaching you to see life through eternal eyes. What you lose here is never truly lost, it transforms. Every act of love, every moment of surrender, every choice for compassion builds something eternal. The treasures of heaven are not gold and jewels, they are hearts that have learned to love as I love. And you, my child, are becoming one of those treasures. When you wake tomorrow, do not wake with dread. Wake with gratitude. Each morning is a new creation, a fresh breath of grace. Yesterday's failures do not define today. My mercy renews with the dawn. You do not need to fix everything in a day. Just walk with me today. Breathe, listen, love. That is enough. I see the quiet longing in your heart, to be understood, to be known, to be loved completely. I tell you now, you already are. Before you speak a word, I know it. Before you shed a tear, I feel it. Before you take a step, I walk beside you. There is nothing hidden between us. You are fully known and fully loved, not despite your humanity, but because of it. You may fear the future, the uncertainty, the change, the loss. But fear lives in the illusion of separation. When you remember that I go before you, that I walk beside you, that I dwell within you, fear dissolves. The unknown is not empty, it is filled with my presence. I am already there waiting for you. When the storms come, and they will, do not be shaken. Anchor yourself in me. Speak my name when you cannot find strength to pray. Whisper it if that's all you can do. My name is not a demand for perfection, it is a lifeline. I will hold you through the wind, through the waves, through the silence. You are safe in my embrace. You may not see me with your eyes, but you will know me by the peace that comes when you should have none. You will know me by the strength that rises when you are weak. You will know me by the quiet joy that appears for no reason at all. That is my presence. That is me. Remember this always, I do not love you because you change because you are loved. My love is the seed, not the reward. Let it take root in you. Let it grow until it fills every fear, every doubt, every shadow. When you live from that love, you will no longer ask, "Where is God?" You will see me everywhere. My child, lift your eyes. The horizon is wide, and I am leading you into something new. The old fear is dying, the new light is rising. You are stepping into freedom, into peace, into the fullness of who I created you to be. You do not need to understand every step, only to trust that I am guiding them. So come to me. Not with polished prayers, not with rehearsed words. Come as you are, weary, questioning, hopeful, trembling. Bring your heart as it is. I will not reject you. I will receive you with joy, with tenderness, with the kind of love that heals what you thought would never heal. You are mine, always have been, always will be. The fear that once stood between us is fading now, melting in the warmth of my love. You no longer have to chase me, you only need to rest. You no longer have to prove yourself, you only need to receive. You no longer have to be afraid, you only need to remember, I am here. I have always been here. And when your journey through this world is done, and your eyes close for the last time, you will awaken in the light that never fades. You will know me not by faith but by sight. And in that moment, you will understand everything. Every pain will make sense, every tear will be redeemed, every longing will be fulfilled. You will hear my voice, the same voice that speaks to you now, saying, "Welcome home, my beloved." Until that day, walk in love. Walk in peace. Walk without fear. For I am with you, always.